Let's see what other pieces we can get at this deadline before finishing up yet another rough season for us. But again, by design. By design. I don't actually even know if we had, aside from pitchers, if we had anybody else that we might want to try to flip. I might have to take a look at someone like Victor Scott. Yeah, he's... You know what? Yeah, give me a second here. So Pahez, we still have... Oh, Lodolo. Lodolo's being considered. Trust me. Trust me. I just need to double check. Yeah, we still got arbitration years for Beatty. Carter's fine. Victor Scott, I cannot imagine is going to be a full-time player here. Especially, too, because we still have the arbitration time on Ciani, and they're very similar players. Can we deal Victor Scott? Did we get rid of Gray? We did. We actually got offered a trade for him. Julio Nunez from Baltimore. Okay. Got decent velocity and break. Nothing too crazy. But, I mean, 19B and a 64. Can anybody compete with that? 19B and a 64. That is a really good offer. I don't think anyone's going to be able to compete with that. I think we have our trade already. I think Baltimore won me over. Leahy had a better arm, maybe. Anybody else here? Anybody? It's that Baltimore deal, man. 18B and a 60. Bob Henley, who was just drafted last year in the first round, that is. He does have decent break. 18B and a 62 on the Nationals. 18B and a 62. Ooh. Another A potential guy, Chris Piera, but his overall is atrocious. I'm not going to be distracted by the A because he's a long shot at best. Anybody else? I know I'm scrolling through these kind of quickly, but there's always a lot to look at. Dodgers offering Andrew Taylor, 20A and a 59. Doesn't exactly have elite velocity or break he'll be able to rely on. His overall's kind of low. Not feeling it. Padres. Salas isn't bad, but being a 57, we got better offers. So it's either Julio Nunez, 19B and a 64, or 18B and a 62. It's got to be Bob Henley. He's got good break already. This is the first trade where I'm like, the Nationals should probably be asking for a little bit more to give up Bob Henley. But I will take advantage of it. I will gladly take advantage of it. Let's see, we still have control on Kevin Alcantara. We got control on Jose Ramos, but he's terrible. Juan Bin Cho. Control on him, too. Tibbs. Control for him. Zach Veen's going to be an outright free agent. I mean, we shouldn't be able to get much of anything for Zach Veen, right? 22C and a 65. 21. Okay. See, this is where the logic, I'm like, okay, really? Like, you're going to give up Maury Dudek for Zach Veen? You know? 21B and a 61 for Dudek. I think his attributes are fucking atrocious, but still, like, that's probably something they shouldn't do. What else do we have? I mean, the market's been set. We need a B potential. And we found one incredibly quickly. Hans Hairston. 19B and a 58. He can't do much, but he can run. 19B and a 58. I mean, that's the way to go right now. Again, they probably shouldn't be looking at a trade like that. That's the White Sox with Hairston. We'll keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. As we look through some other teams here. See if anybody else has anything going on. Good old Juan Guerrero, one of my greatest draft busts of all time. Never forget Juan Guerrero. 21 being a 55. No. 19 being a 58. Francisco Lorenz. Maybe a little bit better at the plate, but I'd rather have the guy that's faster. Anybody else with at least a B potential? Won't go for Cervantes. The other guy is better. 18 being a 54. Catcher Dan Darth. Again, the fielding's not bad. The arm's not very good, though the blocking isn't even, on a good pace. Really? Like, I get these guys are some lower overalls, but damn, Atlanta, just get rid of your entire prospect pool, why don't you? In one deal for Zach Veen. So it's Mark Valley, who, has nothing going on. Darren Drake is a reliever who also doesn't have much going on. And Michael Cloven as a first baseman who's already 21, definitely doesn't have much going on. I mean, the other guy's probably better than any of these guys, but that's good for the depth. It is decent for the depth, getting two 19-year-old B potential guys, even if they're low to mid-50. It's okay. Campaneris, no thanks. Whitfield, no. Anybody else? 19 being a 56, Barry Bullington. Again, I'd rather have the other guy because at least he's fast. Leonardo Calderon. 18 being a 55. Again, I'd rather still have the other guy. Oh, we are getting some decent offers. Eddie Hansen. Another breaking ball pitcher. 18 being a 59. I mean, right now, that's the guy from Milwaukee. Joe Butler. I mean, it's an A potential, but he's 21 and only a 52. He's terrible. That Milwaukee trade's the way to go. Ooh. No, well, we looked at Nelson Kim before. Fred McGill. The crime dog returns. 19B and a 60. So Dodgers and Brewers. Oh, James Tulibitz is a good fielder. His arm is not as strong as I was hoping it was, but that's the guy that I wanted to draft at third base in 2026. Got some power, too. Dodgers with a couple of interesting offers. Let's see, Octavio Salas, great velocity, but we got some better deals out there. And Chris Navarro at shortstop. Okay. So Brewers, Eddie Hansen, 18B and a 59. At least has decent break. Or the Dodgers with McGill. He's a year older and only a point better. He's got good velocity, though. Good stamina as well. Or we go for James Tulibitz as a defensive third baseman who's got a little bit of pop as well. I mean, we do need third baseman. A little bit worried about that guy's lack of an arm, but he's got a great reaction, great glove. I'm the first you're allowed to do that. Yeah, I probably won't, though. But it is true. He could be a better first baseman. I mean, if we move him to first, too, his overall changes for better or worse. I think we go for Tulibitz. McGriff isn't bad, but I'm going to take that. Again, this is one of those trades I feel bad for taking because it's like I would like to talk to a dev in real time about what they think the justification is for this trade and what they would like me to look at in regards to like my roster, their roster, Big fucking Mike, to know like what they would think the AI logic behind this trade is saying. Here's why for the Dodgers this is a good trade to make. I'm going to take advantage of it. And I am going to go look at who the Dodgers have or don't have in right field. Yeah, see, I just don't think you can find any sort of justification for it. They already have Alfredo Quintero. Andy Pajes is still there. They're the ones that signed Lars Nootbaar. I don't think there's much of a justification for them giving up a third baseman, like their only third base prospects, for a middling right fielder when they already have depth in that position with Alfredo Quintero. So that particular trade to me is there was no defending it. Like that is just a brain dead move from the Dodgers, unfortunately. Like I said, I've seen some good trades, but man, whenever I do the trade finder, that's when I'm finding some nonsense, unfortunately. And it sucks because I don't want to necessarily just avoid one aspect of the game, you know? Let's see. Adrian Morion. They might have needed a right fielder for AAA. They did not. Certainly not any more than they actually needed a half-decent third base prospect. With the contracts that we have, like Morion, Joyce, Hurts, Yency Almonte, certainly we should look to see if there's a deal that can be done for him. Honestly, too, I'm afraid to pair prospects together for one big trade because I think it's still going to be overpowered. Like if we do these three together, do we end up with anything overly broken? Especially with $11 million in salary between them. Shout out to DeBerchi.
Walk through this fucking grass.
For the follow. Right, I'm only looking through this really quickly. I'm not looking necessarily seriously. 18B and a 63 for Cyrus Queeler. I mean, it's not great. Yeah, I don't know. Still a little bit shaky on how I feel about the trade finder in this game and in this mode, unfortunately. You know? Well, let's see. NC Almonte. Can we get anybody with a B potential that is better than Brian Luther? 20 being a 55. Exclusively looking for B potentials here at the moment. We'll sort through C's if there's anybody left. It's like Jake Hendricks might not be that bad. All right. Well, at least I'm not getting like a crazy offer for Yency Almonte. Although Dan Darth is there again, which again, he's just a long shot of a catcher. But, and then there's two long shot prospects from the Braves, Valley and Drake, who we had seen before. Robert Day. I mean, right now it's definitely Atlanta. I mean, even if those guys are long shots, I mean, we'll take them. Instead of just signing a bunch of scrubs. Yeah, I mean, that Atlanta deal is a can't pass up. You got a deal. Enjoy NC Almonte. Need more than three trade slots. It's still my biggest franchise deck. I don't disagree with that either. I do not disagree. Okay, it's like Morion, no contract control. We do have some for Joyce. We have some for DJ Harris as well. So Morion makes some sense to deal here. We have anybody with B potential? Just a 1-for-1. 21A and a 56 for second baseman Chester Oliver. Super long shot, so I'm not against the Athletics looking to give him up. 20B and a 57 for Kaiser. 18C and a 61. All right, at least we're not getting anybody too crazy for this guy. I I will take super long shot Chester Oliver just because, although Cervantes is there. Yeah, you know what? We'll do a little bit of research. Let's see. What do we have here? 20B and a 57 for Guy. Ooh, that's a catcher with a good arm out of the gates. Honestly, that's the deal right there. Thank you, Arizona. We'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take it. And then for anybody else, and again, Joyce, we have the contract control. We do have a lot of contract control for some of these guys. Nick Lodolo, like I said, I just don't think he's the guy to give a $20+ million contract to moving forward. He got the 20.4 in arbitration. Orioles are offering Julian Colon. Good age and overall and a potential, but no crazy velocity, no crazy break. I don't really like him. Red Sox offering Alfredo Machado. Don't really like him either. David Jaquez. He's okay. Kind of like the other guy. Frank Alonso is a reliever. The Red Sox deal isn't bad. Yankees, not interested, obviously. 21B70, Michael Gardner. Flamethrower Michael Gardner. Doesn't get many strikeouts, doesn't have much control, but man, he's got some heat. Probably like him better than the other ones. So yeah, Blue Jays right now with Michael Gardner. White Sox? Jason Hooper as a closer. Good velocity. And Jeff McCann. Not quite as good of a fielder as I'd like. Jay Stellater. Kevin McGonigal. Ooh. He is actually a good fielder. What about Max Clark in center? Also a good fielder. That Tigers offer is not bad. Two solid players. Gerard Kaufman. Ooh, not bad in Kansas City. He's got some work to do, but not bad at all. Romeo Frazier's got some decent break on him. I think some other trades are better, though. Let's see. Gene Haku. Hake? Who's to say? He looks okay. I'm going to go with okay. He's got some decent velocity on him, but I think there were some better trades. Colt Emerson, not a bad second baseman from a fielding perspective. Not much else with him, though. But that's a deal to consider, too. Jeff Ullman. Oh, we could have the Ullman brothers. Third baseman, Jeff Ullman. Good arm on him. Not the best fielder, though. Decent hitting. They're also offering Hurston Waldrop. Could be something for... Honestly, the Braves are looking to build up the system here. Caminiti. What a great name. Atlanta's looking pretty good. Damn, man. Thankfully, we are getting some good offers here for Nick Lodolo. He's our best bargaining piece. Marlins offering Thomas White. Certainly not bad. A little bit worried about the lack of like high-end velocity or break. Theo Gillen at third base. And then Angel Genao. Decent fielder at shortstop, but Stevan Hernandez is terrible. Mick Abel's not going to be enough. Owen Casey. Not feeling it. Cincy. Nothing too crazy there except for Roger Benjamin, who, yeah, again, not feeling it. Milwaukee. Cooper Pratt at shortstop. Not bad. Couple of decent pieces with them. It's not terrible. Pirates offering Roderick Compton. Good fielding and reaction time. Not much of an arm. Not much of an arm. But you have to consider that, even in division, you know? They're also looking at Tamar Johnson. Joe Butler's terrible. It is true. Compton's only 5'7", 156. He's he's a short king. Jordan Lawler. I mean, he's honestly too good for this team, at least at that position. Rockies offering Nelson Kim again. Charlie Condon. Dodgers. Kellen Lindsey. Not bad. Danny Turner in center. Doesn't have as good of an arm as I'd want. Holy Padres. Wow. Ethan Salas at catcher. And Omar Rodriguez. The problem is Salas doesn't fit the team. Like, that's obviously the best trade possible, but then I'm going to have to make a change at catcher. I'm going to have to either flip Salas or make a deal involving our current catcher, but that trade might just be too good to pass up. Okay, so Baltimore. Dude, there's a lot of teams. Baltimore was offering, go Coco, get yourself a Bobby Abreu. They were offering Julian Colon. I don't like him. Toronto. The big name was Michael Gardner. Let's see. Starting pitcher, 21B and a 70. And then also Cutter Coffee, who is just kind of okay. Right. Detroit was offering shortstop Kevin McGonigal. Not bad. They were also offering up Max Clark at center field. Who again is okay defensively. Cutter Coffee may be a better name than the player. I feel like that's often the case in sports, don't you? Kansas City offering Gerard Kaufman, who, yeah, is promising. The rest of the deal, though, just kind of is what it is. Like a mid-center fielder and a long shot shortstop. Seattle. They had the deal for Gene. Well, Gene Haku. 22B and a 71. Again, like he had okay velo, which is nice. And then mid-reliever prospect and a throwaway outfielder. Atlanta was offering up Jeff Ullman at third base, who probably doesn't fit best at third base. Like, his fielding's not that good. He's got an okay arm. I feel like we'd have to move him, though. Probably like corner outfield, you know? His reaction time isn't that good either. But he's okay. You got Ron Bird as an okay reliever, and then Hurston Waldrop, who's also, I mean, not that bad. They also had the deal for Wallace Perez, but it's not really good enough. And then Cam Caminiti, 20B and a 71. Honestly, Caminiti's not bad. Not at all. A little bit worried about the lack of velocity. And then, you know, you got a long shot shortstop and a long shot reliever with him. Milwaukee was offering Cooper Pratt, who is good defensively. What was with him? An okay starter and an okay second base project at best. Pittsburgh had the deal involving Roderick Compton, the outfielder. But again, he doesn't have much of an arm. And he's also very much undersized. Matt Saul is just kind of a throwaway reliever. And they also have a throwaway third baseman in the deal. The other offer is Tamar Johnson at second base, which, not bad. They also have Swakos, kind of a mid-starter. And then Joe Butler is a long shot shortstop. And that final trade of interest is the Padres. I mean, I don't think there's any denying it is the best trade, even if I have to make a subsequent deal. It looks like it is easily the best trade. So like 21B and a 71. Like Detroit's deal was better than Toronto's. Although Toronto's trade was getting us a starter rather than a shortstop, which is probably ideal. It was also getting us a center fielder, though. Kansas City was getting us a starter, but a mid-center fielder and a long shot shortstop in the deal as well. And Kaufman only has like okay pitching velocity, nothing too crazy. So I mean, there's an argument there. Seattle was offering up a similar trade, and Kansas City's was better. Atlanta was offering up two different deals that were okay. I compare Milwaukee to Detroit. Detroit's was better. Sweet, beautiful Crash Andrews. How are you? We actually have a really tough decision to make here. A really, really tough decision. Again, Pittsburgh was offering up Compton. Best thing he has going for him is his fielding and his reaction time. But again, I don't know if he's a long-term outfielder. That arm strength isn't great. He is also tiny. That is true. We don't, we don't height shame around these parts, but that is true. That damn San Diego deal. It's just going to force me into another trade, though. It is going to force me into another trade. Pittsburgh has the deal. Involving Tamar Johnson as well, but is he that much better than Gorman? Not necessarily. And that outfielder, there's an argument to be made about how much better is he. Pick Horde all the time. What's your sudden problem with trading? I can't trade for picks. That's my problem. That is the problem, my dude. I can't trade for picks in this scenario. Let's see, Atlanta's offering a deal for a third baseman. Detroit's deal is for a shortstop and a center fielder, which is okay, but neither's a big position of need. So it's Kansas City offering up Gerard Kaufman with not much else. Atlanta offering up third baseman Jeff Ullman and Hurston Waldrop, who is like a direct replacement for Lodolo. So not only do we get a starter, but then we get a promising third base prospect, which we really need. Pittsburgh was the outfield, which we're not giving up on Jordan yet. So it is the best trade in terms of positions of need, starter and third, or the best trade overall, which is Salas and Rodriguez. Hate to tell you, it's Atlanta. I think it's Atlanta. We desperately need a third base project, even if he's not going to be the third base. But then again, he might not be the third baseman because his fielding's not that good. His fielding's not that good. Again, if we take the Padres deal, we have to trade Herrera or flip Salas. Like, we can't keep both of them. It's just, they won't develop properly. And Herrera is now a multiple-time All-Star, but he's also 26. You know, Salas isn't bad.
For those about to score, I salute you.
Salas isn't bad. Ullman's a second baseman. I don't even think he's a second baseman. I think he's a corner outfielder. He's got a good arm. He's just not a good fielder. Damn, dude, this is a really tough decision. I apologize for the struggle, but damn. I mean, Salas is a potential good replacement for Herrera. AAA, he's struggling at the plate, which doesn't surprise me. His attributes suck. Then again, if he's struggling to hit the AAA level, is that ever going to develop at the Major League level? But at least he's good defensively. Got some speed, too, for a catcher. I think we got to make that deal. With the Padres. I don't mind Ullman, but honestly, Waldrop is a enticing piece of the puzzle as well. What I'm trying to decide is, do I want to get into the habit of flipping players from like, oh, third base to first base and so on and so forth, or do I just want to leave them with, you know, where they are? Because that's a rocky road in terms of optimizing a team based on where players should actually be. It's a pretty rocky road. Again, Waldrop does at least have some velocity to fall back on. Everything else is pretty shaky. He's even been struggling down in AAA this year. A little bit. 4.13 ERA. Keep overlooking Ron Bird. He's not a bad reliever. Ethan Salas and Omar Rodriguez for Nick Lodolo. Done deal. We will make that deal with the Padres. Now, here's the issue. We have too much going on at catcher. I think we can get away with playing Ethan Salas in AAA for the rest of the year. I think we can get away with that. But then odds are Herrera gets dealt. You know, technically, we could just go with, like, Pedro Pajes as the starter for the rest of the season. What is he worth? I still want to see what the hell we ended up drafting. 19 being a 64 for Nunez? It's okay. Honestly, we could even get a decent return for Pedro Pajes, so this is turning into a bit of a mess. Just in terms of the amount of deals that could be made. Bobby Miller's got contract control. So does Matthews. I don't think we have any other starters to worry about. It's just, like, if we were to deal Ivan Herrera, which we're probably going to have to, what would the offers be for him? Felipe Malanca. Ori Dudek's out there. Frank Alonso's not that great. Yankees offering up Ozzy Batista at third base. He is terrible. He's got some power, but that is it. That is it. Outside of some pop, he's got nothing else going on. The Rays. Trey Morgan. Jeff McCann. It's okay defensively. Not the best offers. Hans Hairston, of course, we know was fast as hell. Not the best offers for Herrera, despite being a multiple-time All-Star for this team. Baroa sucks. Whaler at least has decent break. I mean, we could get a decent pitching prospect from KC. Charlie McLean's got a decent arm, but like nothing else going on. Edgar De Silva. Ooh, hello, Edgar De Silva. Great velocity, decent break as well. I mean, Edgar De Silva from the Angels, not bad. Not bad at all. Chester Oliver's terrible. I mean, there is a trade that could be made. It's just not this absolute barn burner for Herrera. Like, he has been better for us than what these offers would indicate. Eddie Hansen's still there. I like the other guy better. Of course, Fred McGill's there. To be honest, I still like the other guy better. So if we were to deal Ivan Herrera, it would be for Edgar De Silva of the Angels. We'd also get back random third baseman Boston Barrow. That would make room for Salas next season. I mean, Herrera's got 2 years left on his deal and then would probably need the big money. He's been really solid for us. Silva's not bad, though. If we were to flip Ethan Salas... And now we got choices to make. Good Lord. Honestly, I got to look at some elements of this roster, too. This is turning into a deadline marathon. But there is just so much going on. Damn, man. Damn.